Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a good week so far. It's Wednesday now. I don't know, was it Monday I made the last video? I think it was Monday. Yeah, let's hope the screen doesn't go wonky tonight. I wanted to come on tonight and read a couple of poems that I wrote about humanity. I just wrote them in the last couple of days. I have spoken before about quite far back. I think I've spoken about how cold I think this world is now, and I do think that this world is cold now for whatever reason. I was born in the 60s. I will be. It's my birthday when I'm on holiday, and the change in this world now is just, yeah. I know that we have to move with the times, and I always say when I talk like this that I don't want to sound like my grandmother, but the changes in this world, I know we have to move with the times and things always have to advance, but I feel that a lot of the things have isolated people quite a lot, and I think this is probably going to follow on from what you were saying, Tina, about the Wth Hackman case. I didn't actually read the Wth Hackman story of what happened, because I don't watch TV. Talking about isolation, I don't watch TV and I don't read newspapers. I do own a TV, but I don't watch it. And I think, did they fall through the net? Did they fall through the net in some way? And this is the danger. This is the danger now, that because so much of the world seems to be, it takes place online, everything, like, your social media and interacting with people, that people are being isolated and they're not getting that, that human contact that they used to get before. This is just my personal perspective, and I feel that people do become isolated for whatever reason, whether it's because they have lost their job, or I think in the Wth Hackman case was, they were both quite elderly, and people do become isolated, and when they become isolated, they fall through the net. And there's such I've got a feeling this could be a long video, so I'll give you a heads up in advance. There's that danger that because socials, I don't know like what it's like in any other country, but I know here the demand for any kind of mental health service, or even just trying to get a normal routine doctor's appointment, is so very difficult that people are going to, through no fault of their own, they're going to fall through the net, and they're not going to be properly cared for, and nobody will be keeping an eye on them, especially if they don't have family. I don't have family. I have nobody that keeps an eye on me, but I just I have my days, where you'll have seen the tears, and then I just carry on with it. But there's people out there who, because of their mental health, are so, they can't pick themselves up. And that's no weakness on their part. I bumped into somebody today who, when I used to work in the community as a home help, and she had lost her partner, and she's doing great, and it's not because she's not still suffering from the grief of losing her partner, but she had that determined attitude that she wasn't going to sit and wallow in it. And as far as grieving goes, there's no right way or wrong way, there isn't. But people are falling through the net all the time, and this is why, humanity, the lack of humanity is quite appalling, I think, because we're not checking up on people to make sure that they're doing okay. And then the next thing you know, they're passed away, or they've committed suicide, worst case scenario, because they just can't handle it anymore. They just can't handle it anymore. There's no, everything is, and okay, social media is great. It's fantastic, and it's a good way, especially for me if you're a creative and you want to get your work out there. But the human contact of speaking to somebody on a telephone is gone. It's gone, because everybody is so caught up in what's going on with their phone. We spend the best part of our day looking at our phones. I do, because a great deal of my time is taken up with WordPress. And I spend, I couldn't tell you how many hours I spend, because it is quite full on, but it has opened a lot of avenues for me, which I am extremely grateful for. So I'm not, saying, and that I don't like being, because I do, and I've always said this, the WordPress community are so loving and kind and caring and supportive of my work. But for the human contact, people need human contact. People need human contact. I don't have a lot of human contact, because I gave up my work at Bernardo's. That's another thing for me, that I'm not getting that now. And I gave it up because I wasn't feeling it in here anymore, because of the advances and everything, and I find with life that everything is so money orientated that they move to bigger premises, and you just didn't have the time to converse with the customers, to ask the customers how they were doing. So that's why I left. But people are falling by the wayside. They're falling through the net because no one is keeping an eye on them. And we have forgotten, about empathy and compassion. When we've forgotten all these things in this hurried, fast-paced, instant gratification world that we're living in now. I mean, my neighbour who's 84, and I've said this on previous occasions, will come to my door periodically because I live so quietly. And I do appreciate that. I do live in a neighbourhood that is predominantly elderly people, but most of them have got family. I don't have one living member of my family left, and it's hard. It's hard, especially when you're feeling low. It's hard when you're feeling low, but I just get on with it, you know what I mean? But the milk of human kindness, and as I always say, these are just my personal feelings, my personal perspectives on things. And I'm running on again. These are just my personal feelings. I did look at my phone, so on the bed, this is my spare bedroom, so on the bed is usually where I get the suitcase down and I start putting the things in. And I usually keep one notebook, which is a universal notebook, so I don't have to make lists from scratch. So I keep that, and then I go back to it. But I haven't really, but I have looked, and it is less than 50 days till I go away. So I think it's basically the only things that I'm going to be needing to change are, obviously what I'm going to be wearing. I always take too much, and I don't wear half of it. But we have had some nice sunny days here lately, so, and tonight it didn't get dark until 6:30, so yeah, that was good. So yeah, it is lessened, so I'm trying to make the list, but as long as I've got my passport, I mean, who wants to get to the airport without their passport? And I was thinking also about I might need the new thing that's coming in, but they've delayed it. They've delayed it, the ETIAS thing, because we're not in the European Union, but they've delayed it again, so I'm good. My passport runs out next year, so I will need to renew it. So I think I was going to read you 2 poems, but as usual I've ran on, because this is because I've got you as an audience here, that's why I run on, because a lot of the time there's no, you know what I mean, so you're my audience. I'm going to read this one poem which I wrote. I either wrote it last night or I wrote it today, and it's called Fragile. The view from your mountain, I suppose, is very nice, far removed from life, a place so remote you have lost touch with reality, living in ignorance blissfully, without care for humanity. There are no dolls in the valleys below, and no one extols the virtues of those who reside there. On scraps they feed, between smoking the cigarette butts they have picked up off the street. They are the forgotten ones, runts of the litter, society's doormat, for no particular reason than they took a wrong turn in the road. Now they have no fixed abode, while you live in your loft up high. But the irony is, for all your glitz and glitter, in the blink of an eye, your world could crumble. We are all human, equally fragile. And I want to leave you with that thought, that we are supposed to be, all of us, all human, and we all make mistakes. We all screw up. We all mess up. But that doesn't mean that we're bad people. And I have screwed up and messed up more times than I care to remember. And there, for the grace of God, go I. I could have gone down the route of taken to drugs, taken to alcohol, because of what happened to me, but I chose not to. And now I choose to share my life experiences through my poetry and through what I say in these videos, with the hope that anyone listening will know that they're not alone, although they might feel like it at times. And there is always hope, and there always is hope. Some days it's really hard, and some days it gets really dark, and you want to give up. Don't give up. Never give up. Never give up, because the world needs you. We've all got something to offer this world. We might not think so, and we might think we're just insignificant pieces of dust that float around in the atmosphere, but we're not. We make a difference to someone's life somewhere. And I'll leave you with that. So I think I'll go and carry on with my lists and see how I go. Yeah. The bad thing is, I always take, when I take my luggage allowance, just to be on the side of caution, I always go for 23 kilos, just to be safe, you know. But I am 3 floors up here, so see, trying to get downstairs when I'm going away, yeah, yeah, I just basically have to bump it down. I just bump it down, you know what I mean, because there's nobody with muscles here to help me, so I just usually bump it down 3 floors, and then I get the bus into town, and then I get another bus. But I'm way ahead, as I say. I'm still less, and I've got plenty of time. Have a great rest of the week, and check up on people, drop them a text or tap at their door. Nobody does that anymore either, because there's a lot of people that are living in isolation, and might not be in a good place. And we are supposed to be human. We're only human, and we all make mistakes, but just because we've made a mistake, we shouldn't have to pay for it, and we shouldn't be ostracized for it. You know what I mean? Because every person on this planet has got a story to tell, even your homeless person, I believe, Thanks for being here as always. I'm sorry it's 20 minutes again, but you know what I mean. You've always got the option of switching off 2 minutes in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the likes, the comments, and I'll catch up with you again real soon. Bye for now.